Assalamualaikum and good day to all of you. So today you will learn about how to manage file in Debian 9. Before we start our lab, let us look at the learning outcome for today. By the end of this practical session, you should be able to understand what is inode number. You should be able to differentiate different types of links, and you should be able to handle different files operations such as input-output redirection, archiving, compression, and etc. So let us start with an inode number. So what is an inode? Inode is a data structure that holds the information, or we call it as metadata, of a regular file and directory. So each inode, or known also as index node, has an inode number. So all files and directory has its own metadata, which includes the file types, the permissions such as read, write, or execute, the UID and GID, the file size, and most importantly, the location of file on the hard disk. So let's look at the mapping of file, which name is file.txt, to inode file and data location. Say for example, we have this file which name is file.txt, and in the user view you can see the inode number for this file, which is 19019. However, in the perspective of the operating system, you need to understand that the Linux file is stored in two different parts of the disk, which is the data, the actual data on the disk, and also the inodes. So basically, the data blocks contains the actual data or the actual content of the file. However, the information about the file is stored in the inode table. So the information in the inode, which number is 19019, contains the location on the disk, and this, when the data or the information will point to the actual location of the data on the disk. So let's look into how we can list the inode of the file. Okay, so now how can we check the inode number of a file? So in this example, I will show you how to display information of a file with its inode number by adding the -i option here. Alright, so what we need to do first is we need to create a file. So to create a file, so I use touch command to create one file which name is file.txt, and then we display the information of the file by adding -i for including inode numbers into the long list information. So you can see now the inode number here is 293,889. Alright, so the next thing that we can do is you can also copy a file, and when you copy a file, the new inode number will be allocated to that particular file. So say for example, now we previously have file.txt, so we want to copy file.txt into copy file.txt. So I just clear the screen first. So ls, so now we have this one file.txt, and then what we like to do is I would like to copy the file. Right, so let me copy the file. So cp to copy file.txt, alright, let us view back these two file information. So now you can see that even though the new file is the copy of file.txt, the inode number will be different for both files. Alright, so every time you create a new file, even though it's a copy of a file, so the inode number is the same. Now let us look whether there is a difference in the inode number if we move or rename a file. So now in this example, you can see that if I rename a file, since the file is the same file, so the inode number should remain. So you can see here, okay, let me list back, okay, the inode number to make a comparison later on. So now I will rename a file from rename the copy file.txt to move file.txt, and then I list back the newly name the new name, which is move file.txt. So you can see here, renaming a file will not change the inode number. Alright, renaming a file will not change the inode number. Copying a file will change inode number because you're creating another file. Alright. Alright, so let us see if a file is deleted. So we need to know that the inode number will be released and can be reused again for other file and directory. So let us start by finding a file using searching criteria, which is inode number, which is, and now the inode that I would like to look for is 293889. Alright, so it will display the inode number of 293889 is belongs to file.txt. So now I remove the file.txt. Okay, so what I will do now is I want to find again the file, which number is 293889. So now you can see that if you delete a file, alright, so the inode number will be released, and those inode number can be used again or reused again by another file because you have released the inode number and it does not belongs to any file. Alright, so we'll continue with the next section after this.